So I have a rule. If I really want to have good connection with someone, even if it's a stranger, I have to at least have 5 questions.
Ooh,
5 questions,
what are
and I will
they?
tell you.
Welcome to Behind Business Doors, when we uncover the hidden stories of success and help you achieve your own. I'm Shiran.
And I'm Noah. Subscribe and follow, and let's get started.
Today, we have a very interesting topic, and it's one of the ones that I am always terrified from. No matter how many years I've been in business or alive, networking is by far the hardest thing I have. Not just in the business settings,
Yeah.
in personal life as well. It's one of the biggest struggles that I put a lot of strategies around it. But next to me, Noah is the queen of networking.
I do love networking.
She loves it. And it's so inspiring to see someone that thrive from it versus, someone like myself that constantly struggling with networking. And today in the episode, we're going to unpack networking, what it means, strategies that work for us, how we do things.
Why is it important?
How I overcome the fear of networking and why
Exactly.
it's so important.
And some practical tips for you as well.
Yeah. I think no matter where you are in your life, you're going to resonate with some of the things we're going to probably say here today.
So true. Exactly. And it's really funny what you said, because I found that a lot of my colleagues and friends are struggling with going to do some network. If it's in digital or like in real life,
Yeah.
it's two different things, but the same like concepts.
I think for me, it took me a while to really understand that online you also need to network, especially today. I'm a very physical person. I like the personal connection, and knowing that you need to do that also on the digital face, it's really hard. And that's something that I'm really trying to embrace now, and understand that every time when we send a message to someone, it's also a form of networking when it's someone new. And sometimes when I send a message to someone on LinkedIn, I get nothing. It's like, what have I done wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the first thing I want to speak about today is why we need to network.
Yes.
Like, why is it
That's
so
a great-
important, right?
It's a great question. So, when I was younger, I worked really hard in like a company and offices where I knew like I'm really talented at my work, and I knew I had a lot of things to do, and I prepared myself and I work extra hours. And I felt like sometimes people that know network are going and, attain the better positions and I get rewards and stuff like that. And it drove me crazy, because I felt like, what's going on? Why,
Why everyone see me as
Exactly, because
as a secret.
exactly, because and obviously it's really important to be good at your job, but also, and especially in business, I think it's like one of the like main stones that drive you to success. And there is a saying that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's really harsh, because sometimes you say, oh, but it starts with knowing what you need to do and be like professional in this subject. But as a human being, and obviously in business, it's such a critical thing. When you know the people, you know the right guy, you know how to manage everyone, and to, if you don't know something, you have your guy that can help you with this subject.
And I think I would say another quote that many people in the business world know is, it's not your net worth, it's your network, right? Or it's different. It's your network is your net worth.
I love
and that's
it.
something that someone said to me back in the day.
Yeah.
I know it's something that many people that in business say that all the time. And I experienced that in myself, when you actually need to raise money, for example, or get sponsorship in in my catchball business, for example. It's like you always need sponsorship, and it's who you know. It's not necessarily something that you can start from nothing. And and I think that there is two components to that sentence, right? One is who you know that can help you when you need to. So it's like your support system, and people that believe, or collaboration. But it's also the reason why I say net worth, I believe, is because it's the people who surround you that making you better, that empowering you, that giving you example and a role model to follow. So there is a lot of different reasons why you need to have a really strong network around you from lots of different perspectives. And I'm big on community. I do so many things in my community. If it's my suburb I live in, if it's the business community, I've always been really big on that. But when it's come to the networking part, meeting new people, that's where I fall down all the time. I still do networking. I go to networking events and I reach out to people on socials that I don't know. But it's something that I have my routine now that get me into doing something I'm uncomfortable with in a comfortable way.
Yeah.
So let's think about why people find it very hard.
Yeah.
I can say why I find it hard, but
So what I hear a lot is people that tell me, how do you go to all of these network events? It feels like you have to sell yourself there, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have to be the best version of yourself and just to show off and to show what's you're best at. And some people does it that way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's good for
Works
them,
around,
for them, but for me it was always about genuine connection. That was all about, obviously you want to mention your business if you want to get some network for your business and not get some friends, which is also okay, but you can mention your business in such a genuine way, and reach out to people that you want to work with or you want to get to know in a casual conversation.
100%. Yeah. And people remember you by those acts as well, right?
Exactly.
I went to a lot of networking events in my life, and there is the ones that you go there and everyone just try to sell you everything,
Yeah.
which for me, it's a no-go. And there is the ones that you go there and you realize you're in the wrong event. Because when I had a really large business and then you attend to something that you thought it's have people that are similar with their business, but they not, they have like market stalls or very small businesses, then I have nothing in common to speak in there, right? So it's like the problems that you have are not similar, so you feel out of place and I feel like I'm wasting my time a bit. So it's just, for me, it's a bit beyond just the personal connection, which is very important, but it's also, are you in the right group of connections you want to make? And one of the things I started to realize over the years is that I really need to choose which networking events I go to and which ones I don't.
Oh, it's a good
Because
tip.
I'm not going to be suitable for all the, like, I might be really bored. Yes, I maybe have the ability to add for someone else, but I could not really gain much from that. And I think in a networking environment where you go there in order to meet new people, right? It's not just for, making new friends. It's important to know that you are with like-minded people in that group. And that's why there is so many networking groups.
Right.
Because there is so many people that are looking for different things. So I think the first thing is always figure out, why do you need networking? Which is fundamental for business, but why is for you, right? Like for me, it was back in the day, I wanted to be with a lot more retailers because that will inspire me to do things that bigger companies do and, be more immersed in those conversations and the things that I can bring then to my customers and then help each other from that area. But, I had a gardening business and gardening never been my interest. So I never really went to those areas, right? I had employees going there, but not me personally, because I was not thriving on that. So I didn't really felt the need to do those ones. So it's really important to know what you're looking for and who is the people you really want to
And
meet.
to choose the right event. I completely agree. There are a lot of individuals that feels insecure to go to big events with a lot of people, and it's okay, because we're different, and you can find so many events right now. There are tons of websites and apps that shows you so many kinds of events, and so there is a variety of amount of people in each event, so you can find the right subject as you mentioned, but also the amount of people in each event. which is really important.
Yeah, something that makes you feel comfortable to be yourself, right?
Exactly.
Like I don't feel comfortable to go to the networking event that have all the people try to sell themselves all the time because I just I don't like when I feel like I want to find the service, I will just do my research or I will reach to my network to find for a personal recommendation. But I don't feel like being in a network event that constantly just like, here's my business card, here's my business card, you know, like a speed dating of businesses.
Fair.
Just not for me. It does work for other people. And I
Yeah.
found that especially in trades like accountants, lawyers, you know, they're all looking for that really quick interaction, exchange of business cards and stuff like that. I have a friend that he's like the king of networking, right? And every time when I need someone or I need to find a service provider, I was just like, you know, who do you know? And you always have like at least three people that you trust that you can recommend on. And for me, this is an excellent networking person, right? You only need to know one person and he connects you to whoever you need. Same with you. You only need to know Noah and she will connect you to whoever you need. So
I think it's like a superpower, you know?
I agree.
And when I came here to Australia, it took me a while to understand that I wanted to create so many things. And when my superpower of networking gone, because I didn't know anyone,
It's a new,
I understood how powerful tool it is. Because I can reach out to anyone, you know, back home and to, you know, just call and to find the right guy for this position or for this, like, I don't know, mission that I'm looking for. And without it, I felt like powerless. You know? I think one challenge that I took on myself was to actually sit for 3 coffees a day for a month. And, you know, I came to a new country. I didn't know anyone. So to gain 3 coffees a day was like a pretty hard challenge. But once you start, and that's the beauty in networking, that once you start,
it's just a ripple effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because once you know a guy and you're talking with him about your goals, about what's your struggles, and, you know, he gives you connections. He gives you ideas of people that you should talk to. And that's wonderful because it just
and this is the beauty about networking and building community.
Exactly, networks. Beautiful.
Because it just expand really quickly and
exactly.
I agree.
So we talked about
I want to speak about like the more fear around that because I still, and I've been to many events, still, if I go into a brand new place, like a brand new networking group event or whatever, I am shaking before I go. And I'm sure there is many people that are watching us that are the same. They just like, I have no idea how do I even step into a room full of people. Because, you know, you're a very extrovert person. I'm originally an introvert that is faking it to be extrovert.
But it's actually really, I'm happy you said that because people think that if they
introvert
exactly
they
before
extrovert.
Exactly, but it's something that you'd have to work like a muscle, right?
It's not my energy, but I can be an extrovert when I need to be an extrovert,
and you're pretty good at that, you know. It's always about practicing,
but it's
right?
about the rituals that I created for myself in order to feel comfortable to be extrovert for a few hours and then go back into becoming an introvert. So maybe I will share my routine, my ritual. But when I go to, I guess I will start with the decision making. When I make a decision that I want to go to a networking event, I usually evaluate who is the people going to attend? Is it people that I really want to network with? Or maybe it's an event that I'm just going to listen to like in a conference. I don't want to network with anyone. I really want to just get the content and go and just let the world decide, the universe decide who's going to meet me on that event. But if I'm going for the purpose of meeting people for benefiting my businesses and myself as a brand, I will always try to figure out what is the type of people that go there. Is it really the people I want to network with or not? So that's one. Is it really worth my time?
But how do you know if like the right people there? Event. You know?
Like there is topics, and that's one of the reasons why I always go to networking events that are either a panel or they're organized by certain sponsors that I relate to, and I want to hear what the content that they have. It's people that speak like in a conference that I'm really interested in. A lot of the time I will go to ones that actually have a ticketed entry because I know that people really want to be there and it's not just another a wave of people that look for freebie content. So that's my type of events.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable with things that are more like the smaller groups of networking, and it's just not for me personally. I prefer the once-off events where you can meet some new people and have some interesting conversations, and I can disappear after if the networking event was a disaster. I don't need to stay in the group. So that's the one. But then when I already decide which events I'm going to, my secret is being there at least 15 minutes earlier than the start time.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
the reason
Can
why,
Can you explain? I really want to hear why.
yeah, the reason why is because if I come early, then usually the organizers will speak to me, right? Because I'm the first person and they're still waiting for people. They have time. So
They're
it's
bored.
they're bored. It's giving to other people that arrive after me the illusion that I know the team that organized or I already started a conversation.
Interesting. And it's
So
give
it's
you a
made
bit
me
more
feel
confident.
at home and grounded and confident. Yeah.
Wow.
And what happened is that when you do that, then there is the people that come after you, they feel comfortable to come and speak to you because they know that you're not organizing, but you kind of have the the good vibes out there.
Yeah.
And they come to speak to you, which make me more comfortable because I'm not a person that is easily moving between groups of people. I'm the people that's stuck in the conversation and don't leave.
But that is my problem, because sometimes, and especially in like big networking events, when the conversation stops because it's you feel it's not good chemistry. I love when I have the opportunity to go to another conversation and to meet more and more and more people until I will stuck in a conversation that find me really interested,
Yeah.
And if coming early doesn't give you that
No,
option.
it doesn't give you that
But
option.
I really like this perspective because, as individuals, we find our way to feel more confident.
Correct. And at the end of the day, it's all about what's comfortable for you, right?
Exactly.
Because what works for you to make you feel your best self when you're there.
Exactly.
And feel relaxed and comfortable and just you. And that's what worked for me. If it's reached a state that if I will be late, there is a high chance I will not attend.
Wow.
Because I know myself and I know what will happen when I do go. Like sometimes I will do, if the topics that are going to be discussed or it's a conference, I will still attend.
Yeah, of course, but it will feel.
But if it's just like a networking event that I was, like I wanted to go, but it's not like super interesting from the concept of it, then I probably will just not attend.
Interesting.
Because I know that it will be a lot harder for me. Like I will walk into the room and I'll be like, scouting the groups around and don't know where to fit in. Like it's just like computers say no.
abort, error.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's moved away from my process that
Got
I'm
it.
comfortable with. I'm all about breaking your comfort zone, right? But there is some things that when they work for you, then maybe there will be another time when I will change to your approach of like just rock it up like the Cinderella rocking up. Look at me, I'm here.
No, it's really funny because I'm not exactly like that. Maybe, like at the first seconds, I feel like, okay, I need like to take myself. But then like when I start talking to people, it's, I'm feeling fully myself. And it's a different approach, but we all have the same fears, at least at the first time. And I want people to know that. So I like what you said about your tips. And after you're approaching already and after you're like talking to people, what makes you more comfortable to break the ice?
Well,
or
usually
to start
after
a
the
deeper
first conversation I have, I feel very much myself. So I can go around and do the same thing like you. I will just get in and out of conversations like I'm owning the room. If it's networking events that you have the ability to speak as well in a group, I usually will do that. Like if someone asking questions, or I will usually say my opinion because I notice that when I open my mouth, that's when people feel comfortable with me, right? It might be because I'm 1.85 high, or what is it in Australian, 6 foot tall, that my when people see me from the outside, a lot of the time they get intimidated, right? Because I'm quite a large person and it's scary for a woman to be, and I'm also very dominant. So I found that people sometimes scared to approach to me unless I approach to them. And in the moment I open my mouth, people really get the warmth of me. And
okay, I like it. And
so-
you have a break like break the ice method that
Yes,
you're
yes,
using,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Please share it with
Because
us.
of my accent, and I can't wave it completely. No matter how much I try to be fully Australian, and I've been here for many years, I found that for me, it's one of the things that make people connect you is your name, right? And
Right.
my name is quite like when I go to a coffee shop, I don't say my name, I say my daughter's name. Because they just don't know
easier
how to pronounce it, right? So in those situations, I don't feel like saying my name. But when I meet new people, I
You
always say,
obviously
"Hi,
need them
my
to
name is
memorize
Sharon,"
it.
and then I straight away say, like, you can see their face, like, huh? And I say, it's like she run fast. And when I say that, it's straight away break the ice, but it's also make
Love
them,
it.
it's give them the approval to laugh at my name, to get it
Yeah.
wrong.
But
It's
they will
said that
memorize it, right?
correct,
That's
always.
so funny because, my name is Noah, and it has zero connection to Noah and the Ark.
Yeah.
But every time I'm in a network event and people like trying to repeat it, and I'm feeling like they're insecure about like saying my
Because
name.
it's a male's
I
name
have
in English as well.
I know it's a
Yeah.
completely different name anyway, but like I really want them to memorize it, because once they memorize it, they feel much more confident to reach out to you next time
Yeah.
if they meet you
Yeah.
in other
And
places.
I think especially
So I
if
have-
you have
yeah.
the names that is not like normal,
Exactly.
like not a Chris or
Exactly. So I have
Christine.
to give them like a visual way to memorize it, like in a
Oh.
unique way. So
how
just
do you
like you
say
said,
that?
she ran, I say, yeah, Noah, like Noah in the Ark. And they said, oh, Noah in the Ark. And everyone laughed. But as you said, it's
But
a
it's not
really
spelled
good.
the same. So, but they say
Not
the
at
same
all.
way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they memorize it. And next time they want to reach out and they will know
Yeah.
what my name is.
I have a friend, one of my best friends, her name is
Yeah.
Dana.
Okay.
And she got the name, and she owned a big business as well. And every time when she got to a networking event,
Yeah.
she said Dana Banana, and everyone just laughed. But
I
that's
like
her
that.
signature
Exactly.
opening. And I think if you have a name that you're struggling to get people to
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable with, just make it into like a bit of a laugh or a joke because,
Yeah.
or find something that worked for you because it does make people feel comfortable to say your name, to say it the wrong way,
Reach out again.
and to remember you.
Exactly.
So that's one thing that I guess one of my biggest tips is just find your icebreaker in there.
It takes me to my next tip, and it's also to memorize other people names.
Yeah.
And people
I'm pretty
underrate
shitty at that.
exactly the name like memorizing method because it's so important, and it is really
It is really
important,
important.
to memorize the name that the people you meet. And people always say, no, but I don't remember names. It's not an excuse. Okay, there are so many methods that
Yeah.
helps you
I
memorize
swear.
names because once
Do
you
have a method
remember,
that work for you though?
yes,
What?
like
Share.
visualize.
So when you see
the name.
someone, it's like with their name here. Like
Exactly.
In
I don't know.
avatars.
Like I remember the name with like someone else that I know in a very unique like position or
Yeah.
something like that. Or you repeat the name during the
Multiple
conversation
times.
because. And I learned that when I was a saleswoman, because once you repeat name or you ask a question with the name in it, people feel like it's much more personalized.
Yes.
And they feel much deeper connection, even if we just met.
Yeah.
And when next time I will meet him in the supermarket, in a different network event, in, I don't know, a party, and I will mention his name, it will feel much more concentrated
Yeah,
and
that's
much
true.
more loved or deep connection with me, even though we're basically strangers.
I have a different method to memorize names.
Please share with us.
Because it's one of my biggest struggles with remembering names. I remember faces. Like if I saw you once in my life, I will always remember you. But I remember where I met you as well, which
Incredible.
is great because sometimes if I don't remember someone's name, I will pretend I don't know it, but I will just say, "You remember we met in that blah blah blah," and that's connecting them on that level versus the name. But one thing that I do is if I really need to remember the name because I know I will see that person again, I will just stalk them on social media.
Fair enough.
Or something that I used to do is on my business card, I always used to have a QR code for my LinkedIn
Yeah.
because that will just allow people later on to really make that connection and remember that later on. But yeah, I will just stalk them and remember.
Pretty
I always
good.
remember a detail, right? If
Yeah,
it's the event, if it's the business that they own, if like I remember
Yeah.
a lot of things, but not necessarily the name. Sometimes it's taking me a bit of time.
But it is
But,
very important to mention the name in
Yeah.
each conversation.
You
I
know who
completely agree.
nailing that?
Who?
Jehovah Witnesses. Jehovah
Wait,
Witnesses is like these religious people that come to your house and they knock on
Okay.
all the doors. And I swear they have a map of all the world with the people that own the house and their name. Because every time when she knock on my door, she'll say, "Hey, Sharon, how are
Who
you?"
does she know?
And because the first time we had a conversation, they ask your name.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty
they
much sure
memorize
that
it.
in the moment she leaves, she write it down.
For
and
sure.
The name of the
sure.
house.
It's
And
a
every
selling
time she come,
method.
I really enjoy speaking to them, by the way. Like,
love
I love
that.
those conversations. I'm not a very religious person, but I
Yeah.
like speaking to them. It's really great connection. And they always remember my name. They remember my kids' names. Maybe I share too much information with them.
But it is.
they're
It's
nailing it.
It
And-
makes you feel much more
Connected.
Connected.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
So it goes to my
So-
next tip actually, and it's also genuine questions, right? So I have a rule: if I really want to have good connection with someone, even if it's a stranger, I have to at least have 5 questions.
Ooh.
5 questions,
What are
and I will
they?
tell you, it's not a 5 question of like a ping pong about myself as well.
Yeah.
It's 5 questions that I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I will explain. So let's say that we're meeting in a first time, okay? And I will ask you, hi, how do you spend your time? Well, what do you do? And you will tell me something about your business. And I will ask, what do you specialize
Yeah,
in your
you
business?
do dig when you speak,
exactly.
yeah.
And then, oh, what do you laugh about? How long have you been here? Oh, that's very interesting. And I really want to be interested. So I'll find the subjects that really makes me be interested, in a
Yeah.
genuine way. So if it's in the subjects that I love or in the hobbies that I was interested, or I have at least something to talk about, I will find the right subject hook, exactly. But I have to dig at least 5 questions. And what happened in this moment after you
Because
know,
you're genuinely interested in the other
after
party.
those like at least 5 questions, you will get a person that already feel much more comfortable
Yes.
and much more connected to you.
Yeah.
And no matter who is going to, approach next time, we and him,
best
sorry,
friends.
myself and him, we're best friends. Exactly. We will share the knowledge. We will extend our network and, share thoughts and feel much more comfortable with each
So
other.
do you have like did you actually sit down and wrote that list of questions for yourself? Like what was the process of deciding which is the first 5 questions you will ever ask someone? Like how did you reach to a state that you have those 5 questions?
That's a very good question. And my genuine answer is I do not have a list. It has to be genuine. So Roy and I had a lot of conversation about it because he said, but I'm not interested. So I always tell him, so be interested, find the dots, even though you don't have any thing in common with this person, at least you are human beings that share a lot of things together as human being. It can be anything. What did you eat for lunch? Oh, interesting. How do you make that? You will be surprised how much you will have in common in any stranger.
Always. And I think if you don't have it in common, you can just be genuinely interested in that.
Exactly.
So I actually never knew how to fly a plane. How do you do that?
Exactly.
What is the first thing you've done to learn how to become a pilot? I don't know why I came up with this example.
No, but that's a good example just to show how much you can ask. And what it's given me another really interesting topic, because I hate when people agree with me about subjects they don't really understand. Sometimes that I'm being in a conversation, and because it's already in my mind, I'm saying, UGC, I'm doing UGC for big companies. And people, okay, nice. No, don't be okay with that.
Curious. What is UGC?
I'm sorry, can you educate me? What is UGC?
Yeah.
Matt, I would be so happy to explain, because
But that's come to the ego, because a lot of people don't want to in the networking event setting, they don't want to show like they don't know something. So it's a way
Right.
deeper than just being uncomfortable in there. And I think from
Exactly.
that tip,
Exactly.
always be want to know and learn and say when you don't
Be
know, because
honest.
we can see that. right?
Exactly.
When someone
Exactly.
doesn't know what you're talking about, the eyes are rolling up, like they're not knowing what's going on. Then there is
Exactly.
this uncomfortable
Because it's
situation when
not honest
you
and
don't
you
want to
feel like
embarrass them
something.
and say to them what is UGC, because then they know that you feel like stupid.
I love this like
Just be honest.
situation when I'm in a group and I'm saying something like people don't necessarily
No,
know, and then like everyone like nodding.
Nodding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But one brave person say, "Can you explain me what it is?" And then everyone, yes, what it is, and that is the moment you understand like who is genuine
Yes.
and who is
Who is
honest, who
not.
is not.
Yeah.
And
It's not
we
necessarily
can say
being
that
honest, but sometimes it's just being completely uncomfortable in that
exactly.
situation. Not
And how
necessarily
much
being.
it is important.
Yes, it is very important. And I think another big thing
Yeah.
for me is if you fucked up the networking situation, it's okay. Next time, just try better. I remember one of
Sure.
the first time when I went to a networking event and I felt like, oh my God, they probably think I'm completely lunatic, I'm completely dumb. You have all these things in your head and then you just shut yourself down from doing it again. It's happened to me now with social media because I'm seriously not good at it, right? And I have these deadlines that when my book go out, I need to have a certain amount of audience to actually sell my book.
Yeah.
And you think, wow, like I'm really, it's not my thing, right? And the reality is that you just need to keep trying until it is your thing, if it's something that is important for you.
Right.
And networking, if you own a business, is important.
For sure.
So
Definitely.
you just need to keep trying, try a different networking event, try a different setting, and just go and see what worked for you, what not worked for you. Same with these podcasts. Like I watch those podcasts over and over again to see what I liked, what I didn't like, how can I improve it next time. Not because it's for me, right? It's not for like the external. It's for me to become better at what I do. Same goes to networking.
For sure.
And
And before we will sum
wrap it
up,
up, yeah,
I do want to say that in digital networking, it goes completely
it's a
different.
different strategies. Yeah.
Exactly. Why? Because in like the digital world, and I fully recommend people to reach out to people they want to connect to on social media, but there is a different method because you cannot like just open a
cheeky
conversation.
chat.
Hi, how are you? Because if
Yeah.
I will see that from a stranger, I
just ignore.
100% ignore. Yeah, not in a like a bad way, but just
Yeah.
like I don't know you and I have a lot of things, so I'm sorry. But if someone will give me something I want and ask me for like have a talk or have a conversation, it's a completely different world. And it took me a while to understand that if I want to reach out to someone on LinkedIn or on social media, I need to give him a value.
Yes.
For example, if I see him launching his new book and he wants to talk about it, I will start with, hi, I really like your content or I really like what you do. I would like to help you promote your book or whatever, digital course or whatever he sells or needs. And I would love to have a coffee with you. And then where I'm putting what I want in the same first message, but also what a value I can give back. Always give value back.
You just gave me an idea. We need to do a whole new episode about communication as well.
I agree.
And like there is different type of people and you communicate with all of them differently. And how do you approach that in both networking? So really identify what is the type of communication that person usually have. You have like, if you look at the DISC analysis, you have like these direct people so we might do something about that because this is a really good continuance for this podcast.
And I hope our viewers learn something new. We would love to hear what you think.
I don't know what about them. I'm going to master networking now.
Same, likewise. And we would like to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comment section.
Yeah, and maybe share what's worked for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is your method? What is your icebreakers? What is the questions that you ask? What is your recipe, the winning recipe for networking?
Exactly.
This was ours, and
Thank you
hopefully
so
it's helped
much.
someone.
Thank you, Shiwan.
Thank you, Noah.
I'll see you next
See you next episode.